tonight I'm going to make myself a Cornish game hen. I absolutely love Cornish game hens, and they can be kind of expensive. Usually they run about $3 a pound, but this week at my local Save Mart, they're half off. They're only $1.49 a pound, and I'm like, I need to stock up, because I'll tell you what, if you haven't tried a Cornish game hen, they're delicious. Some people don't like them, but I absolutely love them. You can make them as elegant as you like. It also, one time when I was sick, I didn't have, I had one thawed out and that we were gonna have for dinner, or I had two of them thawed out, and I was gonna make my husband one and myself one. And I didn't feel good, so I took mine and I made a pot of soup out of it. It was some of the best soup I've ever had. It was delicious. It was very lean because there's very, very little fat on them. So this is a great lean idea, and this will serve as at least 2 meals for me because they're pretty big. I can only eat a half of one. They usually weigh 1.5 pounds, and that's more than a portion. So, but I'm gonna make this extra special, and I hope this brings you along. I hope it inspires you to stay with me. I hope that if you like this, you give me a thumbs up somewhere along the line. Maybe go over to my Facebook page, hit that like button. I've got over 500 videos for you to go back and look at if you see fit, and go over to my Wild Tree website too. It's in the Show More box right next to Facebook. All right, guys, let's go make some Cornish game hens. Actually, we're only gonna make one because it's just me. All right. Okay, guys, I'm glad you came along for the ride here, and let you know what we've got on the platter here of things I'm going to do with this little Cornish game hen. Aren't they cute? I just think they're so adorable, and this was such a good buy. Okay, I have some dried breadcrumbs. There's whole wheat and a whole grain and regular white bread in here that I've seasoned, and I toasted this in the oven. It's very crunchy and delicious, and I've got carrots, celery, and a part of a red bell pepper. I've got some leftover onion right here from the other night, and I've got pancetta. You know, that's one of my favorites. This one I bought at Trader Joe's. If you guys watched one of my videos with pancetta, stretching it out, this actually is 4 ounces instead of 3. And it was I want to say $3.29 or $3.49. It was very reasonable. So in that case, I can afford to use it. So I'm going to go ahead and get this browned off. Then I'm going to saute my vegetables. That's going to be my fat that goes into this. I'm not going to use this whole thing, I don't think, though. I might. You never know, because there's going to be way more stuffing than is going to fit in that bird, and so it'll be a side dish for later in the week. So let's get over to the stove and get this browned off, and I'll let you know how it's coming along. So I've got my Wild Trees natural butter flavor grapeseed oil. I am going to use a little bit of that to get this pancetta going, and it's going to need some oil. I mean, obviously, usually we'd use half a stick of butter and all that good stuff. I'm going to try to avoid that. You never know, though. Okay, put this pancetta down here and make sure that we get every bit we can out of this package. And this is actually a really good brand as well. So I'm not going to stretch $1 with the salt pork today. I will tell you that the next time I do it, I will go ahead and take the time, and I should have done that. I mean, it was delicious, but if you don't want that added salt, just like when you get a ham that you don't want it all salty, if you soak it in water, it's like almost like a reverse brine. It pulls that salt out of there. So you could do that with the salt pork before you browned it off with the pancetta, because pancetta's not that salty. So anyways, we're going to get this browned up, and I am going to use the full 4 ounces. I changed my mind. I think I am going to use that. When I was at Trader Joe's and bought the pancetta, I bought 3 packages, so I have plenty for the next month or so in recipes, and save myself the bacon calling. Not that there won't be some bacon involved. Super Bowl here is coming up. I don't know if this video will be posted before or after, but we're pre-Super Bowl. So now I'm going to start adding some of these vegetables and let them start sweating. I like to get my game hen at, as close to room temperature. You don't want them ice cold. It just helps with the whole cooking process, and I take it out of that wrapper and wash it, and then it should be ready to go. So I leave it out on the counter for 20 minutes or so while I'm prepping this other stuff. Now you can see we're going to have some fat rendered off, and that's okay. I'm going to pause a minute here, and when I'm ready to put the veg in, I'll bring it back. Okay, so now I think I've got enough brown on here that I can add my onion. This is only about maybe 1/3 of a cup of onion. It might be a 1/2 cup, but I needed to use that up because I don't like to waste anything. So I always plan, when I put stuff back in the fridge, I start planning in my head what that next recipe is going to be, so I don't have to worry about it. I've got my celery and my bell pepper and carrots, and those are little baby, organic baby carrots. I just love them. Now your heat needs to come back up because that brings the temperature down. And I just love how this looks. Instead of a Trinity with green bell pepper, I really like the flavor of the red. It's just a little added sweetness and color, and we really enjoy red bell peppers. I try to keep them on hand. Peppers are higher in vitamin C than oranges, so it's really a good idea to eat as many as you can if you like peppers. I have a very good friend, and it's because I use so many of them. If I use a pepper in a dish and she doesn't realize it, it ruins the whole thing, even a mild pepper like this. It's not the heat, it's that flavor of capsaicin. And that's kind of the way I am with green bell peppers. It's got to be in the perfect dish. I don't readily grab them first. So I'm going to get these vegetables all translucent, and then we're going to start adding it. We're going to add some stock, and we're going to add it to our breadcrumbs. So I'll meet you back over there when I'm doing that. Okay, so I've got my lineup over here. Get you closer there. And I've got my breadcrumbs. I've washed and patted dry my hen. And now I want to get onto getting the stuffing incorporated. And so I need to grab a towel. I always have a cotton tea towel handy. So I don't even own hot mitts or hot pads. I know that's bad. I should, but I don't. So, or maybe I do. Big Meat Sunday sent me some, I think, or maybe it was just towels. Gosh, those are the ones I take camping because I feel like making Big Meat Sunday recipes. Okay, so now I'm going to switch from the spatula to a fork. And I did not salt or pepper or anything. I haven't done anything to that mixture. I'm going to add some organic chicken stock. Just get in there. It'll kind of cool the vegetables down. And it really depends on how wet or dry you care to have your stuffing, because you're going to get moisture from the hen, but not as much moisture as a chicken. So I like it a little more moist than with chicken if I was doing that. Trying to cook for 1 or 2 people is really a challenge. Getting there. Okay. Give it a chance to kind of soak everything up here. And now we're going to add some pepper. And you know me, I'm a little heavy-handed on the pepper, but I love cracked black pepper on almost everything. Some Himalayan pink salt. Not much, because there's a little bit of salt in the stock. And then I want, maybe half a teaspoon of Montreal, let's go a full teaspoon, Montreal chicken seasoning, because that's what I'm going to put on the outside of my little hen. And then a little bit more of this drizzle, because you got to know that your spices have to rehydrate as well. And now I'm getting where I feel like it's just about there. Yum. Okay. And you could put fruit in this, you could put sausage, you could make it traditional. I like to change up whenever I do stuffing. It's one of my favorite starches, and so when I do it, I like to do it a little bit different every time I do it. And I did a fruited stuffing mix for my game hen last time I made game hens at Thanksgiving. So now I'm going to grab some gloves because I don't want my hands in this necessarily. And let me get a baking dish because we're going to need that. And my battery's flashing, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got my cute little bird here, and I want to make sure that we get this stuffed correctly. So honest and truly, it's a matter of grabbing a spoon and spooning it in, and then using your other hand to push that down in there. And I've got another recipe in mind for these, so I'm super excited that these were on sale because I think you'll really like this recipe I got coming up. I am going to bake off the rest of this stuffing, so it's not going to sit with, you know, raw anything on it. I'm going to bake it off, but I'm going to bake it off separately because it will take less time for this to bake than the whole bird, because these little birds take a little bit of time. So here we go. And the peppers, I tasted this before I came back on camera, and the peppers really have a nice flavor to it. It adds just a little different twist than you might be used to. And so there you go. Now we got her just about as stuffed as I can get it, right? And now I want to make sure I season this little bird. And you could truss it if you want to. I'm not going to worry about it. I'll know when she's dead. Okay, so let me get my gloves. I'm going to wash my hands. So I can actually touch the bird again and touch all the things I need to touch. It's really critical that you're very careful in the kitchen, very clean and as sanitary as you can be. So I've got my roasted garlic flavored grapeseed oil that I'm putting down on the bird now. I'm going to do cracked black pepper, of course. And then a little bit of this, we'll sprinkle it down. This is Montreal chicken seasoning. And you can get this at Sam's Club. I believe that's where I got it. And it's really good. It's not a salty thing at all. It's got some herbs in there, and it just really makes for a delicious deal. So now I've got my parchment lined pan. I'm going to take this away, and we'll get gloves off. Give you a look at that. Look at that. So cute. Okay. I can't wait. This is going to be so good. And you know what? It's really figure friendly. These are not a fatty cut of meat at all. And in fact, I just was talking to my girlfriend earlier, and I said, I have never, sorry about the noise. Parchment's kind of noisy. I have never seen game hens go on sale. Can't even remember ever seeing them go on sale. So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna stock up on them because we like to have them about every 2-3 months. And the only reason I hesitate to have them is because they're expensive. So that being said, I'm gonna get my little pan here. I think. No, it's not gonna fit in that. Let's see. I don't want too big a pan for the rest of that stuffing, but you know, I've got loaf pan, I think that that'll do just fine. And if not, we'll figure it out. I'm going to spray this down with some nonstick spray. So we get that in there, and really and truly, a salad on the side or a vegetable. You've got this beautiful dinner. It's actually a very hearty meal. It's not. It's pretty rich. I don't know what it is about game hens, but the meat is rich, and I just love it. So what I'm going to do is about a half an hour before my little hen is done, I'm going to put this in there to bake off, and I'll probably cover it with just a light covering of parchment paper so it doesn't get too bad. And to me, this is dinner for two with a side salad or a side veg, and what a beautiful meal. So let me get this in the oven. I'm putting it in the oven at 375 degrees, and if I have to put a layer of parchment to keep her from browning too fast, I will, and I'll bring you back when I'm a little further along. Okay guys, so we finally got the end result here, and I'm sorry I'm not doing my salad and stuff for you, but I've had one phone call after another, and I don't want this to actually cool down any more than it already has. So it's at a perfect temperature to get out of this pan, and it's had a chance to rest. Ooh, and it's falling apart. And so let's get another fork here. We'll do this one that way, and this one, and come off the bottom. There we go. Ooh, and there's some drippings in the bottom, but we don't have anything that we have to worry about as far as, yeah, it's just some good, you could make some gravy out of that or a sauce if you wanted. That would be delicious. I can't wait to taste this. The stuffing came out absolutely beautiful, as you can see over here. It's got a nice little crispy top to it. And now what I want to do, maybe we should take a picture of that before we move forward. How about that? Because look how pretty that is. It's just a beautiful little game hen. Let me get closer and take a picture. I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. I got a couple really good pictures, and now I can cut into this. And you want to make sure, I mean, you can tell by how easy that comes away from the joint, how done this is. If you weren't sure, you could, my grandma, she used to just wiggle that leg. And here's that piece of thigh meat. It's really moist and juicy. And let me grab some of this delicious, tender, Cornish game hens are so tender. And I've got some of the breast meat with some of that stuffing. Doesn't that look good? So let's get a bite here. It's really moist and juicy. Take a bite of that with some stuffing. And this is going to be my dinner plus lunch tomorrow. So make sure you can see what I got. Wow, that is so delicious. Oh, that is moist and juicy. You can see how juicy that is. And that stuffing is absolutely perfect. It's got, you know, the red peppers and just really a nice twist on it with the pancetta. It's absolutely delicious. Okay, there's another bite, and it's a big one. But I can't resist. It's got a little thigh meat on there. And sometimes I like to have a little bite of the skin. The skin's really thin on a game hen, so yum. Wow, it's so good. I truly hope this inspires you to try a Cornish game hen instead of chicken or turkey and I mean, this is enough for me to have dinner tonight, lunch tomorrow, or dinner tomorrow night. And it's on a low-fat version. It doesn't have near the fat as a chicken. And so I do believe, you know, since I've been doing this recipe and talked to my girlfriend, I am going to go stock up on some more of these while they're on sale, because I just haven't ever seen that sale before, and you can't beat it. This is an elegant meal to serve to guests. Most guests are pretty impressed when they get one of these, and you can actually cut them in half or spatchcock them. You can do all kinds of things with them and make them very impressive. It's just a very elegant, impressive kind of a meal to have. And as always, guys, I hope it inspires you. I hope you come back. I hope that if you like this, you give me a thumbs up. And if you really like it, share this on your Facebook page, because this is delicious. And I'm going to have cream spinach with this and be done with dinner. All right, guys, as always, God bless.